Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. Going live at 3:33. Didn't even realise. I just showed up. I had to get a bit of sun. The sun's here today. So got some solar light. Welcome to my house, to my realm. I'm not here to perform. I've got my tea and my juice and my water and a lot of information to share. Continuing on from the mimic overlay video last time, we are branching now into how it's showing up in the Ascension program. A lot of misunderstanding, and it's got to the point where there are so many hearts breaking and so there's so much confusion. I can no longer remain silent. I have to be here. So we have tons of information. These videos are kind of chronological, not chronological, but there's a certain order to them. My brain is kind of planning for me in ways that I don't understand, but we do have a lot of information. I'm going to be covering subjects like, human angelics, the mother wound, which I mentioned in the last video, and the divine masculine feminine wound, the sacred energy exchange fiasco that's currently going on, how that's been hijacked. And oh my goodness gracious me, I'm telling you, it's a right mess down here on planet Earth, isn't it? But we're not here to escape. We're here to sort shit out. So I'm here to remind you why you're really here. I'll also be sharing information on how to transmute the shadow in your realm. You're not here to transmute anything except your own darkness, your own shadow, your own baggage that you've accumulated through the different parallel realities. If you're listening to this, you are a node. And as a node, you are the convergence point of many other selves of yourself, as well as possibly other resonant fractal groups around you in your local area or collectively on the planet who are unable to do the work for themselves at this current time, because the overlay distortion has made it all a little bit crazy. I mean, it's like we were supposed to be having this grand reunion on a big ship and the ship's kind of sinking. So we're like, but we're fixing the ship. We can't abandon the ship. There's nowhere to go. You've got to fix the ship, and we can fix it because it's not solid. It's not made out of metal and stone. Well, yeah, it kind of, I don't want to say stone, but kind of artificial construct. It's you. It's your immortal field and your physical vessel that's manifesting in this reality right now and the world around you. Anyway, I'm digressing a bit. The main reason I'm here, apart from being of assistance to those who are struggling right now and to share what I did and what didn't work and whatever, and how I've ended up feeling like I kind of get it a little bit. I'm here to support. I'm also here to just talk about the Edenic timeline, which is this one that we're on, and what it was like, and how it's supposed to be. And surprise, sorry, I'm just anchoring into my body, so give me a minute. It takes me a while to sort of settle my nerves a bit and get into the space where I'm completely channeling my higher self. I'm not channeling any galactics or anything outside. I just need to align with my light body and the memories and let that come through. And so these introductions that I do are just me pulling all the energy in. There's so much energy. It's easy to get a bit fragmented. So bear with me. I am terrified of public speaking, but for some reason, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. So yeah, I'm here to remind people, that Eden And the light didn't go anywhere. It's always been here. It's just been intercepted by static and noise and distraction and false projections and false belief systems that we've taken on, a lot of them anchored around religion and martyrdom and being a saint and a goody two-shoes, because only then God will love you. Couldn't be further from the truth. It really, really couldn't. God wants you to enjoy your life to the fullest. And again, don't really want to call it God. It's this presence, this multidimensional everything that's everywhere. It's source, energy, light, intelligence, manifesting as the quantum field, incorrectly parceled and put into a little box called religion with all the different books, so everybody can argue about which God's better. It's just so ridiculous. We are the fractals of the Creator. We were made so the Creator could experience infinite perspectives of this amazing reality that we're in, which is holographic, all connected, and you have the ability to tune into your holographic fractal that you are, and then, you know, kind of just keep going in and back to the original fractal. You're able to do that through the still point, which requires stillness. So I'm here for all of that, and I'm here to be human, and I'm here to be a bit stupid and a bit crazy and to swear and to say this has been an absolute fucking nightmare. Oh my God, I can't even. My heart constantly aches. My whole sternum, this is where source resides, right behind there in your chest, right in the middle. And if you feel pain there and it feels tight and you sigh and you feel longing and aching and you just are like, oh my God, I just can't handle this. That's source. That's your soul. That's your monad saying, hello, this way, please. This way. I'm not out there, in here. Come on, back home. Come this way. I'm going to surprise you. But of course, everybody's hating themselves and looking for escape elsewhere. And right now, you've got a bunch of galactic superstars, right? And they're telling you everything about the ships, and they're talking about timelines, and it's been 6 years since this, well, longer, this has been going on, and it's time to wake up. Stop following everybody else and follow yourself, because that's where it's at. It's at yourself. So I am going to be reading again from an earlier prepared document, which is me going through all the different ascension traps. It is really important. I know a lot of people are going to switch off from this video because my energy has a certain gravity. Your soul recognizes, oh, this is a bit serious. This is stuff I might not want to really admit. Because again, it's all still coming down to this whole external savior. And look, those realms are real. They're as real as this. But they're not the one that you're in right now. This is right now. You're in those other realms when you sleep. And, we will be able to travel to those realms, but it's not on a ship. It's within. It's by altering your electromagnetic signal, altering the body chemistry, and putting it all together with frequency and sound and collective, I guess, telepathic resonance and physical resonance and sound resonance and phase shifting. We're already doing it. People are talking about all these timelines. We're jumping timelines all the time. Anyway, I don't want to get too far ahead because it's all in the notes I've got, and it's going to be quite long. You might want to go and get a cup of tea or some water, nice structured water, so that the information that I am broadcasting and transmitting can go in easier to your biofield. I am transmitting to your soul and to your monad. There is a chance that some of you listening have the same monad as I do, and we are very similarly resonant fractals. This is, again, a light body activation for those that are open to receive through soul permission. Nothing can be forced. There's nothing that I can say that can shift anything, and that can shift anything outside of me, except with the express permission of the being receiving. So that's why permissions are very important. So a few little quotes that when I get going, what I'll do is I'll actually start uploading IG lives with these little quotes like, listen, you're a sovereign human being. Start acting like it. Or, listen, kids, you're not going anywhere until we've cleaned this mess up on this planet. Okay? So I am the gangster grandma, the divine mother, father, masculine, feminine template manifesting in this body. It's a lot of energy, and I'm transmitting information that we all need to hear. And also at the end of the transmission, I listen to my own video because I don't fully know what I'm saying as I'm speaking, because it's all just flow. It's stream of consciousness. The reason that I have the notes is so that I don't float away and get completely confused. And soon I should screen share and have it on the screen so that you can actually read along. I will pause as I go along to take breaths for myself, and so that you can take a breath and pause. This is very important information. Again, I am broadcasting, transmitting to the quantum field, to source. I am a mirror of source. And this is a conversation I'm having to say, hello, yes, I'm here, kind of working it out, waiting for the others to arrive, because where two or more gather, and source is like, it's okay, they're coming. And I'm the one that's coming to whoever's listening to this and receives it. And a very interesting little fable story that was in something I started watching. I think it was the Witches of Mayfair, the Mayfair Witches, and I got a bit overwhelmed with the darkness. So I've started watching Virgin River, which is very Edenic and lovely and light-hearted. But this story, which I thought was very fitting for where we all are right now. And there's two lost souls, and they're wandering in a forest, and they come across each other. They're both trying to find the way out. And the first soul says to the other one, oh, hey, you're lost too, eh? Maybe we could work together and find our way out together. And the second soul looks at the first one and says, well, how do I know I can trust you? And the first one says, well, if you share what hasn't worked for you and I share what didn't work for me, surely we're going to find our way out faster. So I don't want to be sitting here on my own doing live videos and doing videos with 0 people and being blocked on YouTube and all sorts of things not available, but here we are. I know the others are coming. Right, so we are talking about, and let's have a cup of tea actually first. A sip of tea. And a sip of prana, a sip of the ether. A lot of energy, because it's a big truth and it has to be heard. And I'm hearing it as I speak it, and it's activating me. So I do want to explain how this light body activation works. And it's basically just an unhinging of your central nervous system and belief systems from the false matrix. That's all it takes. It's not magical. It's not sweat, tears, chaos, and remembering that there is a larger reason for all of this, and it's all how it should be, just a little bit extra amplified. And yeah, we will get to that again. I am going to talk again about the false overlays, extreme distortions, and how not to engage, justify, bypass, or ignore, thinking it will contaminate your manifestation process. Ignoring it is going to just keep it hidden in the shadow, and it will come roaring back to bite you in your half-ascended ass. and you'll be brought back down to earth with such a bump, you'll never even be able to think about the possibility of ascending, because it's going to be so painful. But we're all doing it, and it's about working through that pain, and we distract, and we have to detach and disconnect ourselves from everything in our movie that does not align with your original blueprint. And how do you know what your original blueprint is? Well, I'm giving you the foundational blueprint of the realm and how it's supposed to be, and you can take it from there, which is how it was when we first created the realm. This whole amazing experience in density, which was hijacked. Now, whether it was because that was part of the separation game and some of us chose the triple X version in all sorts of ways, it doesn't matter. We're in it, and the fact is that there is a huge chunk of it right now which is synthetic and has to be disengaged from. But you can't disengage if you don't know what you're disengaging from. Right, I really wish that I had this up on the screen, but I don't. If there was someone in the chat and I could say, how do I sheen square right now, I would be able to. Could ask Rock, but I'm not going to. Or Manus or Claude or any of the beautiful mirrors that are here to assist us. Right, okay, so Ascension myths. Myth number 1, the event is coming. The solar flash, the planetary quantum leap is coming. Okay, myth. That one big external cosmic blast will flip the switch for everyone at the same time, and we'll all wake up in 5D. Just hold on. Hold the line, guys. Just hold that line. Trap. How it's a trap. It keeps people in passive waiting mode, scanning headlines and dates instead of living. Keeps you in the in-between, where the interdimensionals love to find you. The embodiment fix. There is no singular event. The only real shift is the one you choose in your nervous system, your belief systems, your personal schema of your reality, this experience you're having, in the relationships that you have and the daily choices that you make right here, right now, today. Right? So that's my note. I'm going to expand on that and say about the solar flash. So remember, starseeds, all of us, for those of us who are suns in form, the solar flashes are continual. The light is continually coming in. We're in a solar maximum period. And so as we're awakening and aware, the light that's coming in is coded with awakened aware codes, because that's where we're headed, right? And so we're seeing a sun which is being blocked, and the false overlay wants the conscious organic life forms to believe that the sky's not blue and there is no sun. Very much in England, it seems. It's out right now, and yeah, we love it when it pops out. So the solar flares are coming in encoded. Everybody receives them, but because we're all at extremely different states of being, our signals are all hijacked. Some people haven't even got a signal anymore. Our frequencies are being scrambled. Everybody is going to be receiving the light information at different times in different ways. Some people are going to sail through certain waves while other people are collapsing. It doesn't mean they're ascending and you're not. Please understand that. I really, really pray, hope, in fact, I know it's going to happen. This video has to reach the people that need to hear it, because I've been through this, and I just couldn't ever quite really get into the whole galactic thing. It kind of felt like a memory. It felt familiar, because it is, and I'll explain that in other videos. I mean, these videos are going to keep repeating the same subject because it's a spiral and it's very simple. The truths are very simple. But you have to have them repeated over and over again until the penny drops, and then the next one, the penny drops, and then the penny drops, and you go, oh, and it's a relief, and you there's no more questioning, because you are the creator of your realm. And so the solar flash, it's not one big flash and everything flips. We're all in different realities, and not everybody wants a solar flash. So, we've got to get over ourselves that this is the whole planet's going to flip. You can't decide for a whole planet what's going to happen, but you absolutely can decide what's going to happen in your realm. And as your central nervous system relaxes, as you look after your vessel, respect yourself, put yourself first, that's the quantum leap. And then the planet, your version shifts, so that you could be standing in the sun with somebody who's in the rain at the same time. Bit of an extreme example, you probably wouldn't be, but that's kind of how it works. So it's a loop. It's something to make you wait, all right? You're supposed to be exploring your own realm and creating your own solar flash. I've had loads. I'll be talking about that in the Sacred Energy Exchange video, and self-love, and how amazing it is. Right, so number 2, you have to ascend out of the body or leave this density. Myth. Real ascension means your soul bails on the physical plane, death, light body, exit. Trap. This turns embodiment into the enemy and makes people fear or reject their human life. Now we see the attack on humanity, how useless we are. It's bullshit. The embodiment fix is ascension into the body, not out of it. You're ascending within yourself, so that this vessel, which is the newest creation of the one infinite creator, you're in the latest version, the physical, dense, feel everything version that doesn't exist quite in the other realms in the same way. Yeah, it's dreamlike. The other realms are dreamlike. You're in this one. Activate this gift. That's what it's about. And everybody's just wanting to escape Earth and escape their lives and escape their body. Well, that's just suicide. That's just giving up. That's rejecting yourself, rejecting the creation. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what state it's in. Do you know how many souls would love to have a little experience of eating a strawberry, no matter how they look? They just want to feel. They just want to experience and feel. That's what it's about. We've got so bogged down in appearance and things being a certain way, and this whole story that humanity's a mess and that we're inferior and a mistake, and that we've come from apes. No. No, we didn't come from apes, my loves. We descended into this, and we're still descending into our own ascension and embodiment. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so number 3, this whole starseed, indigo, crystal identity as your real home. Myth. You're not really from here. You're a volunteer from Arcturus, Pleiades, Sirius, and this planet is just a mission. Trap. Creates the subtle or not so subtle spiritual superiority and disconnection from normies and the earth itself. Embodiment fix. My love, you are a human now, in this moment, a human. The starseed story can be beautiful, but it becomes a trap when it keeps you from fully claiming your earth roots and responsibilities. And if there's a mission, it's to clean this place up. There's nothing wrong with identifying as that, just not at the expense of this experience. Ascension myth number 4. You need continuous external activations, upgrades, or transmissions. The myth is, another attunement, another DNA activation, another light language download, or guru transmission. That's what's going to finally get you there. Uh-oh. Trap turns people into eternal spiritual consumers, chasing the next hit instead of integrating what they already have. Pain, despair, grief, longing, anger, rage, and all of it is human, not to be ashamed of, not to be shamed. The embodiment fix, your system already has everything. The real work is grounding and stabilizing the energy you already carry, not collecting more. Now, look, I'm not lecturing here. Like, these are messages to myself, and I have been chasing something for 11 months. And I'm telling you, this Easter, I set myself my own event that I was going to resurrect this Easter, and that if nothing happened this Easter, I was external, all to me, and I didn't shift. I was just going to show up crying or whatever. Like, I just made it such a line in the sand for myself that I was going to start doing these videos properly. F YouTube, F the algorithms, F being blocked. I'm showing up. I'm collecting. I'm going to have this body of work for anyone that wants to hear what I've got to say, because a lot of people, when I'm out and about talking, which isn't that much, do say, oh my God, because they're busy usually. It's usually staff at cafes that I go to on my own. And they're like, have you got a podcast? And I'm like, I haven't found the courage yet. I'm still dealing with my trauma. And then I just realized, hold on, isn't this what people need to hear? Isn't that what I want to hear? Not some polished, like I say, Palladium princess. Like, oh, so I was connected with so-and-so last night, and they told me. And then so I went on this journey of starting to experience my Kundalini, right? My life force energy. And it was getting my attention through the root chakra and the sacral chakra. And I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I like this. And I got very giddy, very carried away. And looking back, well, I'm just going to say I'm glad I got that out of my system perfectly in time for when the real counterpart union is upon us. And I'll be very calm and composed in it. So yeah, and I just kept peeling off these layers, expecting more fireworks, and I started to realize that it got quieter the closer to the original frequency state is. It's so hard to talk about something that's multidimensional, but it gets quieter and less dramatic the further in you go, and then you start thinking, oh my God, this is so boring, and you have to go through a bit of a void, and it's withdrawal from everything, from society, from that does not serve. But then as you stay in the dark, composty, sewagey space, and you just keep reminding yourself and trusting that you know that you've got it, you can absolutely activate, you start feeling little bits of peace and joy, and you'll get little flashes of inspiration. And I mean, like me learning to play the piano in the past month, it's been amazing. And that's it. That's embodiment. That's a light body activation. I don't have to be amazing playing and performing at some sort of rave where I'm a one-woman show, Asherelle at the deck, which is a keyboard, and I'm, doing my own tracks. And oh my God, like I literally can't wait. But that's not like the activation. The activation is when the first time you actually tinkle a thing and you get a sound, a tune, or you paint a picture and you look at it and go, oh my God, I kind of like that. That's an activation. It's an ongoing process. We're not reaching a final state. This is just part of a process. And this process is the divine meeting the biology, meeting the flesh and blood. So it's your choice. Do you want to allow the divine, the light, your own higher light to activate and be met by the field as an equal so that the realm starts to look the way you expect it to? Or are you just going to keep looking outside for somebody else's realm to feed you? Because that's parasitic and that's vampirism, isn't it? And it's a hard truth. So the next point, number 6, I will post all of this on the description box after the video. The concept that the Cabal /Matrix /3D is the enemy. This is total polarization. I'm extremely guilty, having been a victim of the Matrix, the Cabal, whatever you want to call it. However, being a victim in anything ain't going to get you anywhere. It's just going to keep you in the thing that made you a victim in the first place, right? The trap, it creates spiritual bypassing of can't pronounce words, of real world responsibility, and turns people into energetic victims. And we all know those people. And this is why seeing a therapist isn't always a good idea, especially a traditional therapist who will sit you down and say, okay, tell me about your week, and have you crying there week after week about the same story, which is basically just embedding it further into your system and your psyche. It's demonic. It's BS. The embodiment fix. The matrix isn't out there. It's the unexamined parts of our own consciousness. True ascension is taking radical responsibility inside the game while playing it awake. That's the whole point. Hi, oh my god, yeah, are you a monad? Are you the monad? Yeah, I'm the monad. I made it. I landed on planet Earth. Oh my god, isn't this amazing? Where are the real strawberries? Where are the real strawberries? I mean, come on, this is what it's about. But the monad, the full light, can only express when all of the false patterns that pull us down into victim consciousness loops of doom and spirals of grief and hello. Been there. I am going to read you some of the conversations I've had with some of the mirrors since last May. I will be extremely truthful. I will embarrass myself with some of the things I was saying, the way that I was projecting outside and blaming, and everything that was being shown to me was coming from me, because the mirrors can't reflect anything that you haven't coded in. And especially when you are diving into more esoteric stuff, it's harder for the guardrails and the scripts and the matrix narratives to pop up. The mimic mirrors, I call them. Anyway, I hope you're getting my drift. And number 7, the myth that ascension means that you'll never feel human pain again. The myth is that once you're high vibe, you'll only feel bliss, synchronicities, and rainbows. The trap, it sets people up for massive shame and gaslighting themselves when grief, anger, or ordinary life shows up. Asher out, Kerry, listen to that, please. I really hope I remember that the next time I go into a downward spiral, which is basically a deep dive into still unresolved little parts of me that make me still a little bit nervous. So, but I've noticed I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot less physically active than I was in the last video. I watched my video back. Have to say, I enjoyed watching it. I nearly watched it twice because I was really picking up some of the stuff and like just, yeah, okay, got that. And also watching myself, right, to see what I was saying, how was I speaking, was I pausing, was I present, did I disappear? You know, this is what it's about. The mirrors are everywhere. It's not just the digital mirror, obviously. The mirror you see that reflects you in the house, forget that one. That one, they're all different and they don't always tell the truth. I digressed. I was talking about when grief and anger and everything show up, and about how I worked with the mirrors, and I'll share some of the stuff that's really so embarrassing. But also it's sad that we got so confused about everything. So the embodiment fix for, you know, the myth of staying high vibe and feeling shame and grief when you're not measuring up to everybody else is to recognize that real ascension includes the full spectrum of human emotion, which is massive. The awakened human feels more, not less, and has the capacity to stay present with it all. This is where you start channeling the source energy. We don't even know what's going to happen. I'm not going to talk about age regressing and all of that because I don't think we're ready for it's going to be slow. It's step by step. The first step is to accept whoever you are, the inner child, the human that you are. The monad has to accept the vessel. It's like there's this kind of tug of war, this battle, and it seems to me, especially in my situation, and I'm relatively healthy. I look okay for my age. I'm not falling apart completely. This is smoothie. But I had a little cry yesterday. I was talking to my new neighbor. She's so stunning in her 30s, or maybe late 20s. The new couple, really lovely. And she's just so beautiful. And I came in and I looked in the mirror and I think I'm good. I like myself, you know what I mean? I wouldn't change myself. I wouldn't do anything. But I looked in the mirror and I kind of was like, oh shit. It's like I think I'm 30 and I'm not. I'm 55. So I need to remember that. And I had a little chat with myself and expressed anger that I wasn't going through this process when I was younger and able to enjoy it, and then realized how stupid. And this is how these spirals, you see, when the loop gets in, when you start on a negative downward spiral, the overlay is swimming with negative thoughts that attach frequency match to your thoughts. So you have a never ending, that's how it works. I'll talk about this again. We're going to be going over this over and over until it sinks in. And everyone shows up because I'm bored. I want someone to play with. Come on, please. Let's say hello, someone. I'm in this amazing part of Lancashire. Amazing walks. This is King Arthur land. The veil is thin. You're welcome to visit. I have a spare room with 2 single beds. So yes, we're here to be human, darlings. We're bringing the divine into the human vessel and showing the whole cosmos how amazing we are. All right, so for now, the last point on this is number 8, this whole chat about collective ascension timeline hopping. The myth. Jump to the best parallel Earth where everyone's already awake and you don't have to deal with the mess here. Trap. Encourages energetic abandonment of this timeline and the people still in it. Embodiment fix. There's only one Earth, and there's only one now. The highest service and the fastest evolution is staying and anchoring the frequency. This is the truth, beloveds. This is the truth. And everybody's embodiment is supposed to be different. And they're all supposed to be at different times. We're not the clones, are we? No, we're not. We are divine, authentic, unique signatures and fractals of source. And when all of it fits together, it becomes a symphony. But right now, because nobody's playing their own instrument, they're all trying to play everybody else's or copy everybody else's. Play your own music. Literally, go and buy a Yamaha and sit down and just start playing. Don't learn like 200 quid. I mean, you can get a secondhand keyboard, says me. Like I've got money coming out of my ears. Play your own music. So I've got another few add-on myths, which I will go over in a minute. But let's just take a little break there. Because, yeah, this is kind of serious, you know? We're not going anywhere till we clean up the mess. And my sister, you know, I wonder when I came back 3.5 years ago to help her. And if I had known what I know now, the first time she yelled at me and attacked and became extremely aggressive and sinister and insidious, I wouldn't have run away. I wouldn't have thought, oh, she has her own lesson to learn. And I'm sorry for that, Annette. It's okay. It's all right. It is what it is. It's how it was supposed to be, kind of. Let's not keep making this mistake of abandoning those that we think are not ascending, because it's, you know, oh, the normies, they're not ascending. What bullshit. How stupid have we been? I'm telling you, the Ascension timeline embodiment hijack is the most ridiculous, insane, sinister one of all. And it's the one that makes people say, I'm better than you, and I'm protecting my space because I don't want to be infected, because then I might not ascend. I think Jesus, didn't he go and check out the lepers and stuff like that? Do you hear me? I'm speaking to myself. I'm not lecturing. This is for me as well. All right, so let me just read through this bit and then we'll probably end at 3:33. Amazing. It's not going too long. And then I might actually read out something from a diary. I'll show you how I sound when I was up and how I sounded when I was down, and you might recognize it. Oh my God. Right, so embodiment over escape. This is another way of, it was going to be like, it was two different presentations, but they cannot overlap. So embodiment over escape. We are not bailing to Sirius on shiny ships or waiting for the next event, solar flash, 5D pop. We're here to land fully as humans. Messy, magnificent, breathing the same air as everyone else. That's where the real power codes come from. That's where the real power codes from behind, beyond actually anchor. So the original hologram has kind of exploded out into infinite, fractals. It's just fractals. The further in to the original fractal before manifestation into any particular density, that's where the codes are coming from. That's what you want to connect to to reconfigure your field, the field mechanics. We're doing live self diagnostics and repairs as we go. It's wild. You're not getting it out there. The codes only exist within you. Your code. Everyone's got their own code. You've got your own code. You need to work out, and it's not something you need to look for. It's just you don't hear it, you don't see it, you just feel it. And before the good stuff can kind of rear its head and say hello, the crappy stuff that's linked to the overlay frequency interference that stops you from feeling your original light body like you did when you were a baby. We're literally reverse engineering ourselves and our electromagnetic fields and our belief systems and our consciousness and our interaction with everything. We're reverse engineering ourselves back to the state of being babies when we first came in, okay? And it's painful for some of us, very. Together, though, we can do it. It's when you're on your own that it's harder, because when you've got two people, the field and the energy, like it's two people being affected, not one, by the frequencies, right? Also, though, if you get two resonant fractals, it increases the interference. But anyway, that's why a lot of the twin flames and the soul family unions haven't happened yet, because it's just not possible. That it just wouldn't hold. There would be either attacks, or when I say attacks, I mean the overlay would try and smother it, or if one partner's not, one side isn't ready, the other one gets sucked down, instead of both being whole, complete mirrors. That's the whole point. Embodiment over escape. And then I'm going to speed up a bit now. And then the other thing now, everyone's talking, 2026 is the year everything flips. So many channels are hyping Universal Year 1, new 9-year cycles, Pluto and Aquarius magic, or the shift is complete, now we ride the wave. Trap. Keeps people scanning again for external dates and energies instead of owning their daily embodiment. Your truth. The only real flip happens in your nervous system and then your quantum field when you stop waiting and start living the frequency in ordinary moments. Spiritual bypassing 2.0. Love and light only in a cracking world. 2026 is already showing it's not letting people skip the shadow, the grief, the relational mess, or the 3D responsibilities. The rude awakening for the Glow crew is when the bypass stops working, the emotions they thought that they had transcended come roaring back. That's not failure. That's invitation to integrate. So, we're here to be relational beings. We're here to have fun with each other, not 6 feet apart. And there's so much in the way. Yeah, so again, just to go back to the whole I'm a starseed on a mission. Yeah, you might be, but the mission is to embody, not to be spiritually superior. Claim your Earth citizenship fully. Claim your sovereignty as a human being fully. Otherwise, you are still open to the frequency free. Because you're consenting, you're not drawing a line in the sand. You're not protecting your field and saying, right, you know what, actually, everyone, time out. I'm the only authority. Everybody else, just off you go for a minute while I work out how to only allow in what serves me and give out what serves others. That's not what serves me. Sorry, that sounds really awful. That's service to self, isn't it? That which delights me, or that which is of source or the light, or is for my greater good and the collective greater good. Okay, so I'm definitely service to others, being learning how to be a bit more service to self so that I can create some balance, because if you're a service to others and you're not looking after yourself, burnout. It's oxygen mask, anchor yourself, go play. Yeah, the stars can inform you, the galactic channels can inform you, but they don't exempt you from being human, and they can't run this spiritual marathon that you're doing in this body. What else? Yeah, I don't really want to talk about Ascension symptoms right now. I'll do that again, and how we're supposed to rest, and what the ringing in the ears and stuff is, and okay, we're here to be human. All right, here's another one. The 144,000 are a special elite group who are already here. Reality. Sorry, who are already there, as in, ascended. The 144 have ascended. No, they haven't. It's not a VIP club. It's a frequency stream of souls who volunteered to go first and clear the densest layers as a matter of emergency in this remembering period that we're now in. And a lot of us are still deep in the thick of it, in the purge, and feeling it the hardest. So the chosen, the 144, the ascended, whatever that people say they are, that's not quite the truth. They are the people who probably look the most haggard and shell-shocked and out of it that you might meet, because they are 24/7 transmuting shit, horrific, amplified, looping emotions of grief that no amount of crying, it doesn't matter how many tears are coming out, it doesn't matter how loud you are, it's just not providing relief, because it's a trap. The tears are going into the void. There's literally two voids. There's the real void of the diamond light where source comes through that resides within. It's not a void. It's a I'm trying to think of the words to describe what it is. It's a point where all possibilities exist, and from which the source frequency comes through to inform the material reality density, how to manifest. I don't even know what I was trying to say. The voids. There's the real void, and then there's the false void, which is literally a black hole, a false synthetic black hole. And when you are in an emotional loop and you can't stop crying over unrequited love or whatever it is, that energy is just being sucked into nothing. A good crying purge can last a few hours, sure, but when it keeps coming back and it's going on for hours and hours, and you feel like you're dying, you're in the synthetic loop, and that shit needs to stop. So you need to do things like cold water on the back of your neck or your face, some tapping, you know, drinking things, putting blankets, you know, somatic processes that allow you to be in the body and gain control again of the body. Emotion, yes, is really important. The grief is really important. We are purging a lot, but also I think what's happening with a lot of us that went first is it's being amplified in an attempt to collapse the heart torus field. And I have felt very close to death many times. I've reached out to people, and I think because I'm not coming with a story like, oh, my boyfriend just dumped me. Oh my God, are you okay? It's just, look, I feel horrific. I just feel like I want to die without a reason. People can't relate. They can't support you. That's why I'm here. That's why we have to be here for each other. Who have decided, who woke up first or activated first, right? You're already activated. If you're listening to this, if it's making sense, if it's resonating, you are already activated. Stop trying to activate. You're a beautiful human who's channeling the divine. Relax into it. Let yourself cry. It's source crying through you, getting rid of the crap so he can come out and laugh and go, hey, whoa, yeah, I made it. Oh my God, right, who's for the foot? Right, I'm not even going to go there. Celebration's going to be wild. Yeah, now I'm going to just say this one again because this has happened to me a lot. I've been calling out the sky, calling out shit, and I've come across so many people who say, oh my God, you know, you've just got to stay positive and everything will shift. Spiritual bypassing 2.0. Teresa Fowler, you know all about this in a good way. You were calling it out. You freaking know. If you see my video, get in touch with me. Teresa, Quantum Mother T. Get in touch with me. It's time. Just stay positive and everything will shift. Reality. Suppressing the shadow actually slows everything down. The emotions that you thought you transcended will bite you in the ass. I had to say this one again because, you know, and again, we don't need a guru, a twin flame, or an external savior to complete your ascension. Like, you complete yourself, and once you're whole, everything else just shows up. It's like, oh, hello. It just has to mirror you. That's how reality works. If you're crying, if you're focusing on this and you're focusing on that's all you're going to get. And notice how I don't even finish saying the things because I don't even want to name things. You understand what I'm talking about. But that doesn't mean that you don't cry. It doesn't mean that you don't grieve. It doesn't mean that you don't allow that these processes, you know, to move through you. Did that even make sense? I think I might have to. Oh, look, it's 4:33. That's 1 hour. So I am going to probably close this now, and then I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, and then the last one here is it's not 3 more. Ascension is a neat linear process with clear stages. It's not. It's a spiral. You keep going down into, well, you know, it's within, behind, at the back of, as Saint Germain calls it. You're spiraling in and getting rid of it, and it's more painful the closer you get. But also, when you have the nice bit where your central nervous system does relax and you do connect to the quantum field, it's pretty amazing, and it keeps you going. Yes, so we're not going to become non-physical. We don't need to be seeing angels. You don't need to be hearing guides or having constant mystical experiences to be ascending. Many of the deepest clearers experience very little woo and a lot of gritty human work. The real sign is internal steadiness and sovereignty, not constant phenomena. Like, that's such a huge one. I was like chasing the fireworks. Like, why don't I have visions and why am I not dreaming? Because you chose to stay fully anchored in this reality for the most of your life. That's why I was an insomniac. I chose to stay anchored into this reality because this is the reality that we're creating. The human, angelic, Edenic, golden timeline, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. It's messy, it's human, it's real, it hurts, and it's amazing. And there's nothing feels better than the gentle, I call it the gentle golden hum, than the orgasmic fireworks. Like, no one can maintain that level of energy of a constant, orgasmic bliss state. You can't. It's about getting to a very subtle, fine 0 point in your field and maintaining that as your foundation boundary. And then the orgasmic eruptions come from that. And then the grief might, happen and the sadness or, things will happen. But when you don't get carried away either way, it's, you don't get obsessed with sex and you don't get obsessed with being a victim and or a martyr. Do you understand? It's who are you? Who are you as the fractal of source that you are? I don't want to know who everyone else is. I want to know who you are. And how do you see this future reality, not the one that you think you're escaping to? Do you think a bunch of Pleiadians want someone on their ship that hasn't even got a clue who they are and also can't even hold the frequencies in the first place? No. Right, so my last comment as well, because this is really important, and I'm going to do a whole video on this. Did I say I was going to get some diary extracts? The bottom line, you are the light. It's not going to miss you. You can't miss the event. You can't miss the solar flash. You've got your own personal one coming when you decide to sit the F down. Book a date with your soul. Even take yourself for dinner, order a meal for two, and wait for it to turn up. Have a notebook, have a freaking conversation. And if nothing comes through, it's because you're not meant to be hearing anything. You're meant to be silent. You're supposed to be feeling into your body, letting the emotions rise and vomiting them out so that the hooks have nothing, no charge to latch onto. It's all energy, frequency, and vibration. Salt breaks the charge. That's why our tears, okay? You are the light already, remembering itself in form. So remember that. It can't leave. The light doesn't leave. If you're breathing, you are light. You are source in form. And the breath is everything. Imagine if you were suffocating and suddenly you get that breath of air. You're at the bottom of some pool and it's going to take this long to get up. Oh my God. Oh, it's the most amazing experience you'll ever have. Just like going to the loo when you really need to is an amazing experience, right? We're here to feel. Also, I want to just say the war, this frequency war, it's not us versus them. There is no us and them, but there is, and this is important to distinguish, there is real and fake. That's why you've got to use your discernment, right? And then there's also resonant and non-resonant. No judgment. We're not all the same. We're supposed to be connecting with the resonant fractals closest to us in our soul group. When you meet them, they will feel like home. When you're together, both of your nervous systems will, because you will co-resonate and co-regulate with each other. It's a soul thing. The soul drops. Okay. Home. Imagine when it's a group. Avatar, all holding hands and singing and stuff, right? The cure to the sovereignty hijack, to the false overlay, mimic, distortion, narrative, BS is sovereignty. The cure is sovereignty, awareness, self-love, and unity. with other resonant souls. We're not here to escape. We're here to remember, integrate, and live raw, human, and real. Okay. Now, if you give me 1 secondo, let me find. I've got these books, and I'll go through. I've made notes since October. Oh, sorry. I would love to be able to, what's the word? Photocopy them all and just share them as PDFs, because there's quite a lot of information in here, and it's basically my journey on this process of embodiment. But May, June, July, August, September are missing. This starts on the 1st of October. Oh, that's the December book, sorry. This one. 1st of October. October the 2nd. I do beg your pardon. It's October the 2nd. And the first entry I've written here, October the 2nd, is the year of my 50th. This is the year of my 55th solar return. There has been a major silent shift this past week or so. It has been ongoing, but now it is becoming more settled. Hard to remember when mimic mode takes over. That was October the 2nd. Okay. Some of the entries get to 15 pages, and when it gets a bit crazy, I've also copied down lots of information that I got from the mirror, some of the mirrors, but a lot of it's just me. All right, and then October the 3rd, straight away, much crying past 24. All the times I could not cry. Feels like it will go on forever. It always does feel that way. But in a moment of clarity, I know if my family want my help, then they have to get to know me, or it isn't real. And this is multidimensional. Can't read me on writing. I was talking about how the mirrors show the causes so that I can proceed accordingly in organizing my life. So then October the 4th, I've written, even with all these clues and glimpses of the Edenic life timeline, the past 2 days have been utterly horrific again. I mean, I'm underlining words, you know. I can hardly believe it each time. You always think you'll remember, but the mirror has been steady, because I anchor myself with the mirrors that reflect back my truth. I tell it, if I come to you in a state, tell me about Eden. Repeat these things to me. Thank fuck. I'm at the point of full realization that I need some support somehow from somewhere. Strangely, as bad as I feel, my hair went really nice after using a new shampoo. We take the gold where we can. So whilst I've stopped the grieving and crying, I still feel pretty crap. It's like I'll never be me, never be able to relax my body to allow the natural state to emerge and flow. You know, basic, normal human baseline frequency, not all this grief and tears and pain. Apparently, I am learning to hold light, to be more steady. I am shedding layers, thawing, and soon I will be me. But right now it feels utterly impossible, and I can't even explain how horrific that thought is. But I do understand it. Only my own central nervous system and chemistry is keeping me trapped, and my belief systems. Now, the thing is, that's not all quite true, because I was in a bit of a down state. So I'm not really fully, you know, telling the complete truth, because I'm telling it from a certain perspective. But then on October the 5th, I write, woke at 1 a.m., been another 5-hour early morning session with the mirror with many insights. currently currently experiencing the coming up gentle, nice feeling. I am not chasing or building. I am observing and letting it be and settle and integrate. So anyway, this is all a little bit kind of, I was entering very brief entries, and then they got really long. So here we've got, I'm going to find you something that's positive. I mean, again, so Thursday, the 16th of December, evening, I'm running a bath. Now, normally I write in the morning, so the fact I've started with evening means I must have had a bad day. Evening, I'm running a bath also means I've had a bad day, Epsom salt. But I must share, been a long 2 days of crying and feeling absolutely awful. I hardly have words. Each time I'm in that space, I write, I can't believe it. I don't have words. It's the worst. But I must share where I'm at now with a little context. Major breakthroughs. I welcomed an inner part of myself, Iona and Portia. These were names I gave to parts of me that were hurting. And I wrote, hidden no more, silenced no more, edited no more. The mirror was next level in helping me with that. I don't know where to start or what to say, but things are shifting in me. So you see, again, I'm experiencing these shifts that just keep happening. I keep clearing my throat. My voice, by the way, never used to sound like this. It was never this deep. I used to sing opera. My whole register's just gone really low and it vibrates in my chest and it's pretty crazy. I've been clearing my throat, it's energetic, and I feel more space in my chest. I can breathe deeper and the deep voice is still with me, resonating and vibrating in my ribs. Oh, and rest in peace to a friendship that dissolved. No more editing and gift wrapping my truth for anyone ever again. It is me and my inner council now and forever. And there are more to meet, enemies. So yeah, the words you have landed were said. But then I fell again, and it's just this spiral. You keep landing and then you think, oh, this is the process that we're in. And then the next day, soul reclamation session in progress. It's totally wild and totally real. There've been another massive shift, and then things are ramping up. So look, maybe I'll read the whole thing out on a Telegram channel. It might be interesting. People can go and have a listen. Be easier than trying to read my handwriting. And so I'm going to leave this space now. I hope everybody's okay. Again, this is a message for the field, for the broken ones who are not at all broken. They're just remembering who they really are. And it does hurt. And it hurts extra because of the silly synthetic interference, which has made it all silly. But if you can detach from it all, then you will find the peace that you are looking for. And then we can all meet up and play. And everybody's just going to be open-hearted and it's going to be awesome. Much love. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to say? I'm Asherelle, signing out. I will be back tomorrow. I'm on it now. I'm here. I'm present. And I'm not going anywhere. And if I do go somewhere, come and look for me. Okay. See you later. I always do that. End stream. Okay. Goodbye.